So YouTube has done it again, folks. It seems like every time all the YouTube drama starts dying down, YouTube goes ahead and makes yet another brainless decision that always seems to rile up the community even more. The drama that has been completely enveloping the YouTube community this time around, and in which this video is going to talk about, is regarding a certain situation that started with a very big content creator by the name of CoryxKenshin, and has even moved to affect other content creators like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. So without further ado, let's dive into YouTube's next monthly fuck up, and let's get on to today's video. Now, by the time you've seen this video, you've likely seen tons and tons of other videos plastered on YouTube's front page talking about CoryxKenshin's recent beef with YouTube, which is something I'm going to be covering in as much detail as I can in today's video, so let me just start from the beginning. On August 24th, a very well-known and well-respected YouTuber named CoryxKenshin uploaded a video titled YouTube, Racism, and Favoritism, where he talks about how YouTube have, in many ways, appeared to single him out from other content creators by how they are treating age restrictions put on one of his videos where he was doing a let's play of the popular game, The Mortuary Assistant. Now, I think it's very important that I note the gravity of the situation, because CoryxKenshin, like I stated earlier, is a huge YouTuber with over 14 million subscribers, and in which many believe is one of the best content creators on the platform. So, with someone as big as CoryxKenshin, who's gone #1 trending on YouTube countless times, all of a sudden dropping a video where he accuses YouTube, who is possibly the biggest website to ever exist and also one of the biggest companies ever, of racism and playing favorites with creators on its platform, I'm sure we all know that YouTube would rather not have this video propped up on their front page for everyone who visits their site to come across. So let me get into Cory's video with you guys so I can break down everything that was said, because I have to say, this is a pretty damning video. To start off my breakdown of this video, Cory makes it very clear that he doesn't want to seem as if he's just having a sort of temper tantrum, and I think he establishes pretty well that he has put a lot of thought and consideration into what this video is all about. So I ask you guys to come into this video with an open mind and really think about everything Cory has to say, as this stuff is incredibly serious.
I'm going to try my best to articulate this video as thoroughly, as plainly, as eloquently as possible. I don't want there to be any lost context. I don't want to just look like I'm coming out of nowhere having a temper tantrum because these things are happening. The allegations I am levying towards YouTube are extremely serious, and I'm taking this video extremely seriously.
Cory then talks about how he is convinced that YouTube is either playing favorites with its creators, being racist, or a mix between the two, in which he talks about how he doesn't really want to believe that YouTube is being in any way racist toward certain creators on their platform. But as Cory says, and in which I have to say I agree with for the most part, all the arrows seem to point towards this.
YouTube, you guys either play favorites, you are racist, or it's a mix of the two. These are the three options, YouTube. Which one is it? Here's my proof. I've been doing YouTube a long time, okay? I never want to be that guy, oh, it's because I'm black. Oh, these issues are happening because I'm black. There have been certain situations that I looked at kind of funny. I said, it could be because of that, but nah, I'm not trying to press that. I don't want to build that narrative around my YouTube channel. This time, I can no longer let it slide.
But to start off why CoryxKenshin is making these allegations in the first place, Cory talks about how a video he had put out on August 18th where he plays the game The Mortuary Assistant was shortly after age restricted by YouTube. Now, I want you guys to know in case you don't understand why this is such a big deal. When a video on YouTube is age restricted, it means that YouTube doesn't think the video is suitable for viewers under 18 years old. But the problem that faces many creators when their videos get age restricted is that the video gets shown to far less people than it would have originally, causing the video to not do as well and at the same time disabling ads for the video, which are especially big problems for creators who depend on YouTube revenue from these videos as their main source of income. So when Cory saw his video was age restricted, he was confused because Cory didn't know exactly why the video was age restricted. He said that he even looked for hours at other YouTubers' playthroughs of the same game just to see if any of them were age restricted as well, which he found nothing whatsoever. So his video was the only one of the probably hundreds of other videos covering this to get age restricted. So as anyone would do, Cory appealed the age restriction, thinking that maybe this was just a mishap and that YouTube's automated system just falsely flagged this video. But sadly, that was not the case, for his appeal was soon later rejected by a human reviewer. So a YouTube employee had to have sat down and reviewed the whole video and confirmed that the video was not suitable for children under 18. And I think, and what the majority of the YouTube community thinks is unfair, is that when these videos are age restricted, and even when these appeals are rejected, YouTube never really states what the reason for the age restriction was for, or where in the video the supposed violation took place. They only state that it's against community guidelines and no further explanation is given, which just adds even more unnecessary confusion for the creator being affected. So being confused and probably very frustrated, Cory talks to his representative at YouTube and asks for an explanation as to what's going on, in which his YouTube rep states that the age restriction likely had something to do with an instance where the game mentions depression and self-harm. So when Cory found this out, he looked at his own video and then looked at other creators' videos in which the same situation happened in the game, which is where Cory mentions Markiplier. I'm just gonna assume you guys know who Markiplier is, just because I think it's safe to say that he's probably one of the most iconic YouTubers ever and has served as such an inspiration to many people, including myself, who want to follow in his footsteps as being a content creator and just an overall good human being. Cory states in this video that he didn't mean to drag Markiplier into this mess, but Markiplier's video just happens to be the best to compare with Cory's video, seeing that Markiplier's playthrough included the same situation in which Cory's YouTube representative implied was the reason behind the age restriction of Cory's video. However, Markiplier's video wasn't age restricted. Cory then sends Markiplier's video to his YouTube rep and asks them why Markiplier's video wasn't age restricted, as it features the same content as Cory's video, in which Cory has this to say about it.
So I send the video to my YouTube rep. I say, hey, Markiplier has this situation in his video, but his isn't age restricted. Could you send that to the policy team and see what they say about that? He said, wow, Cory, that's some astute detective work. Let me send this to them and see what they say. What do you think happened after that? I'll give you a second. They came back and they removed my age restriction. They took it off after they already rejected my appeal. I sent them the clip of Markiplier's video that has the same thing, and they removed it. Now, my YouTube rep, he was excited. He was, oh, great, this is awesome. Look, Cory, they took the age restriction off. I said, why? I expected them to triple down and give Markiplier an age restriction too. But they looked at Mark's video and they used that to verify my innocence.
Now, before you go ahead and say, well, why is he getting upset over his video getting the age restriction taken off? Isn't that what he wanted? To which I have to say, yes, you have a point, but the reason Cory is so frustrated that this happened is because he came to the realization that this means that his own content is being scrutinized and analyzed harsher than Markiplier's content, which goes without saying, is objectively unfair. So Cory sends his YouTube rep a pretty well put together email on August 19th where he states this. This is actually pretty damning for them, and I'm inclined to believe racism and or favoritism plays a part in this. So correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the situation. YouTube reversed the decision they doubled down on yesterday after being presented by the Markiplier clip. I'm actually more surprised they reversed it rather than triple down and just age restrict him too. This actually speaks volumes more. All the momentum of the first video has been voided for nothing now. Before I drop an exposed video tomorrow with the evidence that has been presented to me, I'm hoping for some clarity that might make sense in a way to dissuade me from getting ready to stir this pot further. Can you inquire why they changed their mind and who made the decision to reinforce the age restriction yesterday, as well as their reasoning for doing so? Also, why do these incidents always coincide with me trending #1 multiple days in a row? I felt treatment towards me from YouTube, especially when I've been #1 trending multiple days in a row, on multiple occasions, has been negative, and that my content is scrutinized heavier than a counterpart like Markiplier. This case proves exactly that, actually. Why wasn't his video monitored the moment he released it to check if it violated self-harm guidelines? I've had a suspicion my content gets targeted or suppressed, and YouTube will make any attempt they can to kill channel momentum, and this case more than anything that has happened so far proves that. While I would hope race would have nothing to do with it, how can it be proven 100% that it does not? Now, to explain what he wanted to get out of sending this email to his YouTube rep, he states that he would have liked to sit down and talk with YouTube's policy team about a few things that would give clarity to the situation Cory has found himself in, which Cory elaborates on here.
So I send my YouTube rep a lengthy email detailing my feelings about the entire situation, feeling like there was some favoritism at play, there was either that or some racism at play, and that I would like to sit down with the policy team and figure out why my video was flagged in the first place. Actually, #1, was it automated or was it a human that age restricted it in the first place? #2, Who was the human reviewer? Because it's a human reviewer once you submit an appeal. Who was the human reviewer that doubled down and rejected my appeal? Number 3, why did it take Markiplier's clip in order for them to reverse the decision?
Now, regarding CoryxKenshin's claims that he's felt treatment from YouTube in the periods after he's had a series of videos reaching #1 trending, he explains how he talked to his YouTube rep about how he feels like he's targeted whenever he comes back from a break and his videos start doing really well, only for YouTube to somehow find a way to suppress his content, which honestly, Cory does a much better job of explaining than I can, so I'll just show you what he had to say.
I've been feeling like this for a long time. I've been feeling like every single time that I come back to YouTube, I'm #1 trending for a few days, and then they find some arbitrary issue. They nitpick and they try and find something that they can incriminate me for and try to push me down. You don't believe me? What happened the last time I came back and I was #1 trending for like a week? They copyright struck me for a video that was in 2019 or something like that. Why don't these issues ever crop up when I'm not uploading? I mean, I'm not on YouTube like 9 months out of the year. Nothing ever happens until I come back and I start uploading again, and I'm getting my numbers, they're climbing, they're exploding, I'm #1 trending, and then they're like, hey, we need to stop him.
So what Cory says next is that his YouTube rep assures him that he will continue to work with the YouTube policy team regarding Cory's questions about this situation, in which on August 23rd, Cory finds out that his video was age restricted by YouTube yet again. And even better, Cory checked Markiplier's video and saw that it was age restricted as well. So within the time that Cory's YouTube representative was supposedly working with YouTube's policy team, someone at YouTube realized that they got caught treating CoryxKenshin's video unfairly. So they went back on what they said earlier when Cory's video got its age restriction rescinded, and then proceeded to age restrict Markiplier's video as well. And then it was soon found out that YouTube had also put age restrictions on videos from other creators covering this game, like Jacksepticeye and many others, as a way of trying to say that they are treating every creator with equal scrutiny. This situation further proves that YouTube doesn't really care about fair and equal treatment, which, now that I mention it, kind of reminds me of another example of YouTube not treating people fairly and equally. Sorry, I think I just had something stuck in my throat for a second. Anyways, Cory goes on to explain why he can't help but think that racism may have a part in all of this, as he goes on to talk about how if you look at the people YouTube try to show on the front page of their website, you will find very few black creators, and he elaborates on why this is an issue in this clip here.
I believe there is some racism involved within the policy team, and YouTube in general really doesn't care about black people like that. They got their favorite creators. You know, log out of YouTube, log out and go to YouTube. You'll see the people on the front page every single day. You'll see the favorites. Count how many are black, count how many are of people of color. So then what does YouTube try and do? They try and peddle YouTube black. They try and give us a spotlight. Do you know how condescending and patronizing that is? Oh yeah, let's give a spotlight to these black creators because we're all about diversity. All this communicates is black people aren't good enough on their own skill, on their own merits, on their own talent. So we gotta give them a spotlight. We gotta come down and raise them up so they can get some spotlight action. Well, how about you save all that YouTube black, all that fake patronage, all that fake pandering that you guys do. And when you have a black creator coming to you repeatedly saying, why am I being treated differently than other creators? And then you come back and, oh, we gotta age restricted, and then, oh no, he's on to us. Okay, we gotta age restrict them both. Fake! It's fake. That's what it is.
Now, obviously, Cory gets very emotional throughout this entire video, really, but I don't think you can really blame him, because if you are someone who has poured all your love and passion into making content that you want people to enjoy, only for stuff like this to be happening to you on multiple occasions, I think you have the right to get emotional, if I'm going to be honest. Also, I think it's very important to point out that this video from CoryxKenshin where he talks about this big issue he's having with YouTube was even flagged for ad suitability, just to make things worse. But the main point of why I wanted to go over this video with you guys is because of an overall trend that we are now seeing occur with YouTube more and more often. When YouTube makes a big mistake, then instead of accepting they've made that mistake and actually fix the issue, they double down and try to play damage control instead, which we've seen a lot recently has always backfired on them. Now, that's all that I've got to cover on CoryxKenshin's video, but hold your horses because there's still more. Soon after this video from Cory was uploaded, Markiplier actually uploaded a video titled Try Not to Get Age Restricted Challenge, where he plays a game called Orc Massage. But the reason I'm pointing this out is because Orc Massage is a game that features a lot of, should I say, adult content. Like, the stuff in this game is basically the kind of content you'd see on adult sites, like what I will call, for demonetization's sake, the hub. I mean, obviously this video from Markiplier was heavily censored, but it was cleared what was happening in the game. And I just have to say, this was such a big brain pro gamer move, because not only was this video made because of the drama with CoryxKenshin getting his video age restricted, but it was made to prove Cory's point about how Markiplier's videos don't get the same scrutiny from YouTube as other creators like CoryxKenshin do. Because Markiplier's video has still, from the point I am writing this script, has yet to be age restricted. And the longer time goes on without this video getting age restricted, the more this video just proves Cory's point. But something happened next that just took things to the next level. On August 27th, YouTube had a livestream that they called Game On, which is, from my understanding at least, a kind of community showcase where they highlight some of the biggest creators on YouTube as well as what they bring to the platform. So when the advertisements started popping up everywhere promoting this livestream with Markiplier's face on the front of it, people were excited to see what Markiplier was going to show during this event. But when the livestream rolled around, Markiplier's segment wasn't there, and it appeared to have been cut from the livestream almost entirely. There was a quick little intermission clip during the livestream where Mark interrupts the broadcast as part of the interactive experience, which was supposed to prepare the viewers for Markiplier's later segment in which the viewers could interact with the video with a sort of choose-your-own-adventure aspect to it. However, as the livestream went on, viewers were confused as to when the Markiplier segment was supposed to happen, because it never showed up, in which Markiplier then posted this to Twitter, where he said, "Did YouTube really cut the rest of my segment? Yeah, YouTube cut it. Sure glad Lixian, Marcus, Rachel, Nervly, and I busted our asses to get this segment ready for the big Game On event just for it to be cut without warning. Fuck that. I'll put it on my channel tomorrow." Now, I just have to say that this is one of the most disrespectful things YouTube has done to its own community, because with Markiplier being one of the biggest creators on the platform, and whose face was plastered on every advertisement for this livestream, there are naturally going to be many people watching this stream just to see what Markiplier was going to show. And keep in mind, not even Markiplier or his team knew that the content that they made for this was going to get cut. They learned about this by watching the livestream like everyone else. The title of the chapter under the timeline that was reserved for Markiplier's segment was actually still there during the live broadcast, but the content in that segment had then been replaced by another segment that covered multiple Fortnite creators. So I challenge those of you at home who are watching to think about why YouTube made the decision to cut Markiplier's segment. Just think about that for a second. Why would YouTube all of a sudden cut his segment from the Game On event, despite using him as a marketing tool for this very livestream? Now, while it could very likely be the fact that YouTube just wanted to trim down the runtime for the livestream, and just happened to decide that Markiplier's segment would be the part that gets cut, it seems a bit weird that the intermission Markiplier had made to tease his own segment was still in the livestream. And I don't blame anyone who wants to believe that YouTube just got butthurt from his age restriction video and just took out Mark's segment, because if I'm gonna be honest, that's how it really comes off as. So with almost every other big creator on YouTube finding out about everything that had happened, there were tons of videos from these big creators talking about the issue and pointing out some of the big flaws that the company has, as well as the ways in which their channels have experienced the same sort of weird age restriction nonsense that has been such a problem for a while now. Even Jacksepticeye, who again, I'm sure we all know at this point, made 2 videos talking about how he believes there are some serious problems over at YouTube regarding the way that they handle things, as well as pointing out the lack of communication YouTube seems to have with its creators on their platform, and how if YouTube just tried a little harder to communicate with its creators on these kinds of things, it would do wonders for the platform. So if you were YouTube, and you just saw that almost every other big creator on your platform was basically talking shit about how YouTube is unfair to its creators, and that they don't know how to make them feel like they can actually have a secure and stable profession on YouTube, don't you think you would, I don't know, do something about it? YouTube has yet to acknowledge any of the questions that have risen from this situation, and honestly, I don't think they ever will. I think YouTube is just trying to wait for the drama to die down so they don't have to worry about doing anything to fix it, like they always seem to do. This whole situation just goes to show how YouTube just keeps doing what's best for their own interests. And some would say that YouTube is just a company and acting in their own best interest is what they're supposed to do. But when you are owned by Google, which is one of the biggest companies in the world with billions and billions of dollars to use, and you refuse to simply invest in better ways to connect with the creators that make YouTube such an amazing place to watch content, Personally, that shows that YouTube doesn't have their priorities straight, especially when you take for consideration the fact that a lot of YouTube creators depend on money from their videos to pay their bills, pay their groceries, pay for medical expenses, etc. And I think almost everyone can agree that those creators have the right to know that their channels are safe and that they can have a stable profession here on YouTube. So that's going to be all for today's video, you guys. I'm just deeply concerned with the direction YouTube seems to be going in, so I thought I'd make a quick video where I rant about this and give you guys some context as to what's going on. I also want to thank you guys for the crazy amount of support I've been getting recently, as my last video is just passing 20,000 views and I'm getting close to 500 subscribers. I didn't think that my channel would be getting so much attention, especially as fast as this, as my first video was only uploaded about a few months ago. I also want you guys to check out some of the channels that have helped me recently, including Chris the Narc and Minxie1. I actually had an interview on Minxie1's channel recently, so if you want to know a little bit more about me and also check out some other commentary channels, I will leave the links in the description of this video. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, share your opinions in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.
Flag taken.